Happy Sunday and welcome to the Queen Amina Show. I hope you guys are having a blissful day out there today. I know this Sunday is supposed to be our Church Without Walls, but guess what? We have prepared for you music without walls. So I want you to join us today and I hope you have your dancing shoes on. We are going to be dancing to a wonderful tune from Chuxx. He is going to be entertaining us today, and also we'll be learning how his journey into music began, what he's doing with it now, and what are his plans for the future. While you join in the conversation, could you please share the video so that some other people would benefit from the life of this young fella coming up in music world? But before that, how about we just praise? Because today is our Church Without Walls. And I always love to do this. So give me a minute here. Let's do this. I'm there. I know I'm there. I'm there. How do I do that? Hold on, guys. There we go. I got it. Enjoy this music by Moses, please. He's a wonderful praise leader. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. You are who you are. Yesterday, today, and forevermore. What you say is what you do.
Thank you, Lord.
You never fail, you never change. You are faithful till the end. Faithful God, I worship you.
Thank you.
I worship you. You're too faithful to fail me.
Hey. Yes, Lord.
You're too faithful to disappoint me.
Hey.
You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me.
Yes, Lord.
You're too faithful to fail me. Oh Jesus, you're too faithful to disappoint me. You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me. You are who you are. Yesterday, today, and forever. What you say is what you do. Lord, you never fail. Never fail. You never change, God. You are faithful till the end. God, faithful God, I worship you. I worship you. You're too faithful to fail me. Yes, you're too faithful to disappoint me. You're too faithful to disappoint me. Hallelujah. You are proving yourself. You're proving yourself in my life. And I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to disappoint me. You're too faithful to disappoint me. Oh God, you're proving yourself in my life. And I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me. You're too loving to leave me. You're too loving to leave me hanging. You're proving yourself. You always leave me. Yes. But I've come to realize that you're too loving to leave me. Lord, you're too loving to leave me. You're too loving to leave me. You're too loving to leave me halfway. And once you start, you always finish. And I've come to realize that you're too loving to leave me. You're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to disappoint me. You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize that you're too faithful to fail me. Wow. You are too committed to leave me. Woo! You're too consistent to leave me halfway. What you start, you always finish. And I've come to realize that you're too faithful to leave me. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Whoa, that was super powerful. I know that God is too faithful to fail you, and He is too committed to your success to leave you halfway. What He started, He will finish. So my encouragement to someone out there today is whatever you're going through, as long as you leave it in the hand of God, He is too faithful to fail you. And He will finish what He started in you. Just like the Queen Amina show, God started it, He will finish it. So I'm hanging on that faith. We are on a mission to shoot straight 365 days. Would you join me? If you have an idea of a show, let me know. Let's bring it on. The platform is set to encourage, empower, and bring information to us all. So let us join hands together and build this platform and talk about being faithful, too faithful to fail. We have a young man behind the scene that is going to be coming on, and we're going to see the faithfulness of God in his life. You know, he's an aspiring musician coming up, writing songs. God is helping him, and he's going to encourage somebody out there today with his songs and his story. So please share the broadcast, and let's bring on our guest today. Hello, and welcome to the Queen Amina Show.
Hello, Queen Amina. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. You're always smiling, and that is very contagious. So I'm gonna start by saying, tell us your name and why you're always smiling.
Okay, well, that's a good question to start actually. So you can see my name's Chuxx there, but my real name I'm Nigerian, so I'm Igbo, and my actual name is Chukwuemeka, and that actually means God has done well. So if God has done well, I have reason to smile. I have no reason to frown, you know. So thank God for my life, and thank my mom for such a beautiful
now
name.
I see.
I know. So yeah, I'm from
It
Nigeria.
is a
Originally, yeah.
beautiful name, and thanks to your parents.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thank my mom. She gave me such a lovely name that has kind of stuck with me my whole life. You know, I don't have to do anything. God just does everything for me. So thank God.
I love that. Did you just say you don't have to do anything? You know how many people would like to live like that?
That is it. You really don't have to do anything. Like you kind of just have to put your faith and trust in God and keep your mind positive. You have to know what you want to do, obviously, but let God direct your thoughts and your actions. And like you can't have room for worry because that doesn't do anything for you. But God really just, He takes care of His children. So just make sure you're a child of God, and He'll take care of you.
So how did you get into that? Did your parents train you? Did they, like taught you all of this good stuff and, you
Yeah,
know?
of course, of course. It's like they say, right? Like train a child the way he should go, so when he's old, he doesn't depart from it. And it's something I always keep in my mind too. When I think of how I want to raise my kids when I have them, like how would be the best way to do this? Because we get to a certain age where we don't want to listen anymore, right? So you got to feed them all the right stuff when they can actually still take it in. So when they get to that age that they start to think for themselves, a lot of those things stick with them and guide them, right? So
You're
I
gonna
definitely.
have to say that again. You're gonna have to say that again because a lot of the teenage children out there today, you just said that we get to an age where we think that we know a lot and we're not listening anymore.
Yep.
And you said that parents should teach them while they were young before they get.
Exactly.
Please
Before,
say that again.
yeah,
One
you need
minute.
to like stick it all in, stuff as much as you can before they get to that age. Because once they get to that point, you're just gonna cause headaches for yourselves. Because it's just gonna be a clash. But if they already have those values before, they might not even initially listen when they get to that age. They might rebel, but when they get a few years down the line, those things start to come back to them, and those seeds that you planted start to grow, and that's when you actually start to realize that I'm happy I put in this because they start to pay attention to those little things here and there. And that's it. Like I thank my parents for my upbringing, taking me to church every Sunday, waking us up, making sure we were ready to do that. And those little things that stick with you, like it's not like my parents were there 24/7, like they were busy, they had working lives, but just the little things like on the weekends, making sure, they were there, making sure we had the right values. We knew like who were the right people to hang out with. Those little things, right? They kind of stick with you when you grow up.
Were you going to church just because your family wanted you to go, or you were truly, truly interested in knowing God?
Oh, of course, I was just going because my family wanted me to go at the start. Because you don't really don't do much, right? You're just kind of going, and then later down the line. So I guess at a young age, I actually got sent off to boarding school. So I was on my own at a very young age, and there I actually started developing a lot of interest, in these things too as well. And then I guess a little when I moved to Canada initially, I wasn't going to church at the start actually because I was on my own here, and I just kind of was doing my own thing, freedom, right? Like but after a while, that's what I mean. Those things start to come back to you. You reevaluate, and if I didn't have those things to look back on as to like to guide me, then I'll be lost. I wouldn't have anything to stand on, and I'll just fall to the wayside. But I'm glad I had that because I was now able to check myself and be like, why you're here, and these are the values that have been imbibed in you that are right, and this is what you should stand for. Like hard work, discipline. You can't. Those things have to be drilled in you when you're younger. So when you're older, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like what you need to do to survive, to lead a good life.
You are such an inspiration. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
So right now, before we go into any more question, you have some songs that you're going to sing for our audience, and tell us a little bit about the song. Then we're going to come back and you tell us how your musical journey began.
Okay,
So,
that's
what is
great.
this particular song that you're going to do for us?
Okay, I have a few songs actually planned for you today. I'll just give you a quick summary of the stuff, and then we'll maybe go into the first song. But the first song is a new song I actually just wrote. I collabed with a producer out in the UK, and he made a beat called Black Lives Matter. And I actually I heard it, and right off the bat, I just started getting a lot of like inspiration. So I took the opportunity to write some words because a lot of people have been asking me to speak up during the whole issue with George Floyd in the States. So because I do put a lot of those things in my music in the past, but I really needed to say something. So I spent some time thinking of the right things to say, and that was where this first song came from. So I'll be sharing that with you. You'll be hearing that for the first time ever. No one's heard this yet. So it's an
Yay!
exclusive with Amina show premiere.
I'm not sure it's special.
Yeah, yeah, and then we'll go into my new single called "You Know What," which we just shot a music video for. We're releasing that later this month, and then I have a song called Maradona, which is like Nigeria styles. We're gonna have a good time with that, and then after I have a song called "Thank You," which is just showing appreciation to God for everything He's done in my life.
Awesome. So how about we take it away with Black Lives Matters?
Sounds good. So this one's called "Hope, Love, Unity," and I hope you guys like this. So I'll start the beat right here. Let's go.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not gonna let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. Somebody's knocking him over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. The ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
Stand up for your rights, stand up for your rights. Now it's time to fight, now it's time to fight. Give it all you got, give it all you got. Keep your spirit up, keep your spirit up. Negativity threatening to surround me. Racism and anger is lingering all around me. I gotta dispel the hate with the love. Repel the dark with the light, that's what's up, yeah. They told us fight the power, became enemies. Happening took a leap, but that wasn't the remedy. It's getting plain to see, so I don't need to spell it out. I just hope you understand the words coming out my mouth. Every single day and night, this conflict all around the world. Just gotta rise above it. Speak up for injustice. Use your privilege to help those with no privilege. So we educate, love, free, regulate, hate, we educate. Racism is the disease we should eliminate. Every century, causing a catastrophe. Can't live in harmony when the world of monopoly. World with a price tag on every individual. Network, tax bracket, was the residual. Effective classes, simulate your society. Media focused on raising up anxiety. I don't want to cry with tears welling inside of me. Gotta be a beacon of light and positivity. Anything is possible, believe in possibilities. Hope, love, unity, carrying out disabilities. Yeah. Shout out Warman Beats in the UK for this one. Hope, love, unity. We have to come together. Each one teach one. The right one lead one. Yeah. That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank
That
you
is
so much.
so cool. I love the last part. Each one teach one, the right one lead one.
Yeah.
How did you come about that lyrics?
I just came up with it right now on the spot.
Really?
Yeah.
That is such a blessing. You need to write that down. Guys, we are watching the Queen Amina show live, and our guest today is Chuxx,
Yeah.
which is a short form, a stage name for Chuko Emeka. He's out of Nigeria and right now living in Canada doing his music. He's just an upcoming star, and the platform is actually to give opportunity to hear our voices, especially our Black youths, our Black businesses. So this is why we are doing what we're doing. So for you to be able to support us is go on his social media handles, follow him, help him promote his songs. So that way we continue to promote each other. We're going to get to all of those later. But Chuxx, I have a question for you. You opened by saying that you're thanking your family for what they have taught you growing up. And when you came out here in Canada, every time you see trouble, which I'm pretty sure you must have seen among your peers, but when those things come around, like temptation of doing something you know it's not right, what goes through your mind as a child that was sent from Nigeria to come to Canada? I'm pretty sure you came in to go to school. What goes through your mind at that particular moment, especially when you're being challenged by your peer groups?
I think of disgrace, like disgrace to my parents. Like I don't want to let my parents down, right? So I guess that was the big thing that used to drive me in the past. I'd always just think of how much money my parents used to send me here, and like I'll convert the dollars into naira, and just like to me it made no sense, right? So I was like, I can't do this. I can't shame my parents. And I remember when I was younger as well, we used to watch NTA, and that's the Nigerian Television Authority, and I guess every few weeks they would have a parade of young boys that they'd be deported back from the states that probably were like involved in pushing drugs and some stuff like that, right? So every single time they had this, I guess my mom would always show me this and be like, "Look at this guy, look at this new set of guys," and I think she was kind of brainwashing me, to let me know that hey, if you go over there, you mess up, this is exactly what would happen to you. You'll be right on national TV. Everybody would see you. So those things kind of stopped me a lot. I guess the shame. Yeah, you don't want to let your family down. You don't want to let the people that can count on you. And yeah. So
How so that means you look at yourself like you don't want to fail, you want to
succeed.
succeed.
Yeah, like
And
I look at myself as an ambassador, basically, right? Of my family, of my people, my
I like
country.
that.
Yeah, of my culture. I'm an ambassador, so I'm like that representation of what you see. So, like for example, when I came here, I was in Hamilton. I was the only black kid in like my class. Things like that in my hall.
That was the next question I was gonna ask you. That have you felt alone as a black man
Oh
in
yeah.
any place in Canada?
Of course. I was in Hamilton McMaster University, and even though they had an African Student Association, I didn't really connect with them. And I guess it's the same with anything. There's always that exclusivity and that inclusive where you have to kind of break that inner circle. And I'm really that kind of person that's not interested in doing that. I just almost kind of do my own thing. If you gravitate towards me, I'll gravitate towards you, and vice versa, right? So I did feel alone. A lot of my friends were white, and that also shaped a lot of the way I accept people from different cultures now today, and the way I also look at myself. So it hit me a long time that these people had no idea of what it means to be from Africa. They don't know what life is in Nigeria. They don't know how we dress. They don't know anything about our food, our the way we talk, our language, accent. So everything they're getting is from me, is their firsthand experience. So if I give them like a view that is not worthy of what it is, because how on the media they show images of Africa and they show kids with no shirt, pot belly, eating, hungry, the roads are not tarred. But if you go to the cities, you see us how we're living life, right? So they choose what to show you. So it was always that constant battle of me showing them, hey, but look, let me show you how Lagos looks, and I'll Google on my phone and I'll try to show them Lagos Island. So I was always trying to show them, hey, we have skyscrapers too, we have this. And I realized I had to be that source of information, right down to how I dress, how I carry myself, how I speak. And I realized that quite early. So it's something I started doing.
That is amazing. So have you ever been discriminated against in any way, shape, or form?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like it happens all the time. Like from something as little as going on the bus and you sit down and someone beside you gets up, right? Or someone's looking for a seat and there's seats empty beside you, but there's like maybe one empty seat in between two people and they choose not to sit beside you and they go squish between people, right? Even though they see that. Little things like that, up to like, people even using the N word around me that are not of the black,
Wow.
but they just feel like, oh, maybe because they grew up in Scarborough or something, they're entitled. So I constantly have to check these people and like, so little things like that too as well. And then even up to like when I go on vacation, sometimes like I went to Italy once and I remember I was in the gallery with my girl and we wanted to take a photograph together. And I asked the lady there to help us take a photograph. And this was before coronavirus, so this was not the excuse. And she wouldn't take a photo of us, right? She looked at us as if we had a disease or something and just like
Wow.
disgusted and walked away. And my girl was upset, but I told her just don't focus on that. I'm like, that lady is affecting herself and her soul. Like the worst you can do now is just look for someone else to take that photo. And you don't want her taking the photo anyway because she would have ruined the photo. So
I love that. So what you're saying is one of the problems of this racism is education. These people don't know Africa.
That's a big part. Education, the stuff they're being educated with in the media is just the wrong images, the false images. Like if you're constantly reading that this certain group of people are the ones committing all the crime in your city, chances are when you see someone from that group of people, you're going to clutch your purse a little tighter. You're going to cross the street. So a lot of that is with what media chooses to portray in their images, in their stories. And I think there's also a reason for that as well. And I think that's probably a deeper conversation, which I'm glad we have shows like Queen Amina show, so they're able
Thank
to
you.
balance this out, because the media is very driven with dollars. So yeah,
I know. And we are determined. That's why I tell everybody, I said, I don't care if it's one person that watched the show or 10 million people, I am going to remain the same and doing what I'm doing consistently
consistently.
because I am determined to bring good news, just like we are sharing today.
This is
You
amazing.
know,
Thanks for having me.
you're
This
very
is,
welcome.
yeah.
So, before we go into the second song, just
Yeah.
give some of our children, international students that are here struggling and getting involved in gangs and all the bad acts and getting arrested. You have walked through this experience, and look at you. You're doing amazingly well because you stayed away from trouble. What is your advice for them before we go into your second song?
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to stay away from trouble. If you're gonna find yourself in trouble, don't get caught. Be smart about it, but don't get in trouble. That's the biggest key because chances are you will get caught. So just keep yourself focused. Stay busy on something. Like try and find something that actually means a lot to you. I found at an early age I discovered I had a talent for music. So try and find what your talent is, what you have a gift for. Something that you don't necessarily need to even try to do it. It just comes to you. And then once you find that, stick to it. Devote your time and attention to it. Because most times, when you have idle time, that's when you get to get driven to do things that you shouldn't be doing. And that's sort of to throw you off your path. But if you stay on your path and what you're supposed to be doing, you identify your talents and your gifts and you work on it, chances are you end up being successful much quicker than you even think. So
And that's why you use music as a therapy for some of those kind of days that, you
exactly.
know, to help stay
Exactly.
out of trouble. So, what's your next song for us?
Okay, first I'll just correct my name here. It's CH triple X. So just so you
Ah,
can find the right thing and search me up and share it out. I did a
okay.
show the other day
Triple,
too. Yeah, there's just no
okay.
you. There's no you in there. But the next one I'm gonna do is called "You Know What," and it's a new single that we're working on. We shot a music video for it a few weeks back. Social distancing in effect, but
Yes,
it was a
I like
yeah, it was a great video, and we went to the beach. We had the jeep and everything. So I'll share this with you. It's kind of like the Nigerian London vibes. So let's check this out,
that.
and yeah,
Sure.
I hope you enjoy it. Let's go.
Okay.
That's it. Chuxx Triple X. Let's go. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah. Shout out Queen Amina. We're in the house right now. Toronto to the UK. Let's go. I got the vibe, so you know what? I be doing this till I blow up. I be spending cheese like a grown up. I was overseas, like you know what? Now they look like a big dog. Work, work, work for the payoff. Time come, then I ball like the playoffs. Brand new bands, like you know what? Uh, Wanna hear the first verse? Ah, alright. Hey, I don't play the fiddle like Lizzo, but I make it hot like Tabasco. Everyday lit, counting guapo. G rich, that's the lotto. Now we do it big in Toronto. 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 Hey, I got the vibe, so you know what? I be doing this till I blow up. I be spending cheese like a grown up. I was overseas like you know what? Now I lay low like a big dog. Work, work, work for the payoff. Time come, then I ball like the playoffs. Brand new bags like you know what? Ah, Wanna hear the second verse?
Sure.
All right. I remember putting on Sean John, walking in the party like a top gun. Didn't know life was a long run. I was living it with abandon. Like they doing it out in London. Like they doing it out in Lagos. Like they doing it out in New York. I just do this around the whole world. Hey, I got the vibe, so you know what? Hey, I be doing this till I blow up. I be spending cheese like a grown up. I was overseas like you know what? Now I lay low like a nigga. Work, work, work for the payoff. Time comes and I ball like the playoffs. Brand new bands like you know what? I wanna hear the last verse?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Hey, hey, I got the yeah. This one's for you right now. It's your vibes. Come on, yeah, yeah. Feel alive, yeah, yeah, and let's ride. Come on, woo. Hey, hey.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
So you really you deceived me there. You didn't have a third verse for me.
So you want to hear it? All right, let's
I was actually waiting for the third verse. So
That's how I recorded it.
we might write the third verse together. You never know.
You gotta, I know, you gotta get on the remix. Come through, let's do it.
That was fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you
So,
for having me. Oh my
you,
gosh.
how long do you practice? How long do you sing? Do you sing every second? I know some musicians, whether they're sleeping, they're singing in their dreams. Is it the same way for you?
Yeah, I do a lot of, like I sing, but I do creative stuff too, right? I do my videos, I do my artwork. So I'm just always constantly thinking of all these moving pieces, right? So, but I try to sing every day because practice makes perfect, right? So I
Right.
try to sing like whenever I can, just like practice. But I'm always writing new songs anyway, and I always feel the pressure to record. So it's almost like I just constantly have to practice this stuff anyway, otherwise the work just piles up on me. So yeah, I
That's
know. It's
so. What is
constantly.
your background? Did you leave Nigeria, come in, told your parents, "Hey, look, I'm going to go do music"?
Yeah, well, I came here. I was like 16 when I came here, actually, so I was really young, right? Like
Wow.
super young. And I came here for school. Like, I was doing engineering, civil engineering, and I did that for a little bit. It wasn't quite working out well. So this is something I actually want to tell the young guys, because sometimes you look at all the big professions and you want to go to school and be like, I want to be a doctor, this, that, but you never know what your actual real calling is, right? So I did go to university here and I took civil engineering in university, but after 2 years, it wasn't working out because of the physics and the calculus. It was just too much. And then it
My
was too much.
daughter is going through that right now.
Yeah,
Physical
it's
calculus.
frustrating. You probably hear it every day from her, right? Like, oh, it is frustrating. You get the assignments, everything. And then I had the language barrier with the professors. I couldn't understand their accent, right? So
Ah,
that was hard as well. So for 2 years, I struggled. And then the third year, I think I even did part time. And I realized I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't keep wasting my parents' money. But at the same time, my music was really taking up, man. Like in McMaster, people that were doing songs with me ended up. Have you heard of the Arkells?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so that was around the same time when we were coming up, and
Oh,
I was the
really?
guy, I was the man on campus. Like they weren't even doing the stuff I was doing. Like I was
Wow.
selling out the shows, like Down with Webster. I don't know if you heard of them, but Timberland picked them up. These guys were opening up for me, right? So it was like at the point where I was believing the hype, and I'm like, I could drop out of school right now and be a musician. No, that's how hard I was, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because now looking at those guys, all those guys that got signed, they don't have deals anymore, right? They don't have deals. But me, I'm still here. I'm still like I have income, right? I have steady income, and it's kind of
So
crazy. Some kids,
that's a very valid point that as you're pursuing your career, you are pursuing your passion.
yeah,
And a lot of people could not separate the two.
yeah,
And you at a point you said you hit so hard that you thought of dropping your career.
yeah,
And
And
if
that was,
you had done that, you would have regretted it.
I would have
So
regretted 100% because the fact of the matter is like, and even I had to pivot from civil engineering. So I ended up moving to Toronto, left university to go to college, which is looked as like a taboo, right? But check this out. I ended up doing software engineering in college. Who's
aren't you
on
glad you did?
who's on top of the world right now? You never
Wow.
know what God's plans for you in your life is, right? But you just have to stay focused and keep your eyes open and make the best of any situation you find yourself in. Because you can only go up from the bottom. So no matter where you are, you just have to change the way you think and change the way you want to apply yourself. And the moment you do that, you see things start picking up in the other direction right away. You just have to keep going harder and harder. That's it. So I didn't plan any of this stuff. I didn't. And as a result of that, I ended up doing software. I'm doing websites now. Everybody wants a website during COVID-19. I'm rolling. I now have money that I can invest in my music. So I'm not here struggling to
Right.
shoot videos. And that's beautiful because now I can just do it at a high level and compete with all the people that you want to be competing with. And then it's like, okay, let's go now and do this music. So it's crazy.
That is so profound. I had a guest on my show that every so often I refer to her words. She gave us a system acronym that God gave to her called the PRESS system. You know, and one of the things that really stood out for me was when she said you're in a survivor mode. And she did an exercise holding your breath. So you know what? Both of us hold your breath for a few seconds, let's see. Release it when you can't anymore.
I'm good at this, huh? You gotta be waiting forever.
Now, let me tell you, you cannot hold your breath till the end of today. You're going to die.
You will, 100%.
Right? Right?
100%.
So here's what she said. She said, holding your breath in the works of life is the same thing as holding your breath to live your real life. And what she meant was in this life journey, there is a season that is called a survival mode. And that survival mode is the period where you're holding your breath to survive in life, in your career, in your decision making on what to do, in your journey to becoming a musician. While you were making decision to shift from engineering to software engineering, that is your survival mode. Most of the people would die holding their breath in that survival mode, and then they let their passion go.
Yep. That's
So
true.
what she said, build on your passion while you are in your survival mode. And that's
100%.
what you did. You
Yep.
were going to school as a software engineer, knowing that this is going to help me in the making money that would help me produce my music, which is my passion. So she said, when you're doing that, your survival mode preparation time will help you move into your selling mode. And your selling mode, like the sailor on the sea, when they are sailing, the wind will come, the storm will come, which I'm pretty sure coronavirus came, right?
Mhm.
So coronavirus became the storm and the wind while you're in your selling mode now. But what did you do? You capitalized on it. You
Yep.
see,
I will tell you exactly that from my
I
perspective.
love that.
What you're
Please.
saying is mind blowing. Oh my gosh. So basically, when I was in school, actually, when I went to college, like in Nigeria, universities where you need to be PhD. So I'm in college. I'm like, oh wow, I'm gonna disgrace my parents. I stopped doing music. I stopped it. I was like, I'm gonna do what I came to Canada to do, and I started doing focusing on my school. But for some reason, people would find out I still did music, and they would come to me and say, "Oh, I want to do music with you," even though I wasn't doing this stuff actively. So my third year of college, I picked it back up because I realized I was missing something. And you always have to check yourself. You might be doing good in your job, but you feel like you're missing something. You're not fulfilled, right? I didn't feel that fulfillment, and I tried to think back what made me happy, and I realized it was music that always made me happy. when I was younger. So I gravitated back to the music and I created space for it. I told myself every Wednesday, no matter what I do, I'll do music. And I started doing that. And I started inviting people to do the music with me, and we grew big. I had a band. It was called Simple Life. Life is simple. It's like no matter what happens, you can always create that life in your head and know what you want. If no matter what's going on around you, you can have a smile on your face and determine how you feel. So that was my brand, and we had a band, and we were huge. And this is my sailing mode here, because the storm came. My whole band, everything started falling apart. People started turning and all that. And I decided, I was like, I can keep fighting this wind, or I could use the wind to push me where I want to go. So I broke out of that. And that's where I came out as a solo artist now, and that's where you heard of me
And
first.
that's where I heard of you and I found you. So
Exactly.
we always need to. Did you just see that?
I know. You want to say hello? It's like,
Wow.
it's okay. We attract the attention, the vibes wherever we go.
And he just came and showed his body to the whole world.
We saw the shoulder, just the shoulder.
I saw everything, like for real.
I didn't see anything. Don't worry. We only saw the shoulder
Oh
and
my
the
God.
tip of the forehead.
Hey, that's my dear husband, unfortunately.
Hello.
I would never forget this day. Oh my God. Like, if somebody ever interviews me and say, which is your most embarrassing moment? This is it right here. I'm on a live show and my husband shows up with his body no shirt.
Don't worry, we didn't see it. We didn't get the view you got. You got that view. We didn't. So just
Oh my God, I apologize, guys. I'm really sorry. But again, the Queen Amina show is
it's
an
real.
okay. My daughter is not gonna do the same. See that?
Real and unfiltered. Quit having on show live.
And guys, I am not gonna edit nothing. It's gonna remain like this. My house, this is my life. This is how we live. Actually, I should start a show like the Kardashians.
There you go. Look how much they're making already. Hire me. I'll help you. I'll help with the music.
I'm telling you, this is how my house is, So, guys, I am going to be here and I'm going to be here. So, you guys better get used to it because someday I might come on the show and you see everybody coming out dancing behind me.
Dancing. You know what? Let's drop a dance song.
That
Right
is
now.
so funny. You know what? Just give us a song. Let me recover
Let's
from
do
this.
it. Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for
Go low. Hey, keep it up. Hey, go low. Keep it up. Go low. Go low. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Go low. Go low. We gon' start this craze. We gon' take you higher. We gon' burn this place. We gon' start this fire. Chuck calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. Chuck calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. But my life is the hand of God. Every day I wake up blessed up. We're on top of the world. We got nothing to stress us. Life is simple. All my moves are original. You can't watch from your living room. I'm smooth, but I'm not a criminal. Hey, she won't give me leg go far, but I'm so irregular. Talking on my cellular. What's the business? What's the plane? I'm so fly, I'm on the plane. Up to Italy with my babe. Every day it's a holiday. That's the game that we play. We gon' start this craze. We gon' take you higher. We gon' burn this place. We gon' start this fire. Chuck calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. Chuck calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. Crossover. JJ, all day, no day, play. My bands I ball like Ray Ray. Oh yeah, Jalen's okay. Make millions, killing. Best I talk, I stealing. Look how boys keep winning. No beef fraud, no villain. Hey, I'm out in Milan. Look at this Nigerian. No Yahoo, just foo. Big boy, they chop like Bruce. Hey, worldwide they know me, but I'm not your homie. Ladies call me Twitter. The way they want follow me. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Go low. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Keep it up. Go low. Go low. Go low. We gon' start this craze. We gon' take you higher. We gon' burn this place. We gon' start this fire. Shot calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. Shot calling. Player. Ballin'. Maradona. Hey, hey. Look how boys they move. Hey. Maradona. Hey, hey. All the plays baby they run. Hey. Maradona. All the goals baby they score. Hey. Maradona, champion, Maradona, yeah, go low, keep it up, yeah, Maradona, hey, 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 Maradona.
You are too much. Oh my God.
It's a goal.
Right, right. You made my day. You know,
You
you're
did.
not just talented, but you have the wisdom of God in you. As a young man, you know, I think you're doing an amazing job,
Thank
you
you.
know, organizing yourself, putting yourself together, listening to you speak. It sounds like you have a plan for your life and you're not living that road. I am very proud of you.
Thanks so
We
much.
we need more of you. So tell me before I let you go, what is your goal? What are your goals in the next 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself?
So in the next 5 years, I want to see myself like I want to be more financially independent, where I don't feel like I have to wake up every day to go to a full time job. You know, like I want to be financially independent. So I want to establish more income streams, and that's sort of what I'm doing too with my music, setting up my publishing. So that's set up properly because I've released a lot of music. Now I want to release the music the right way so it can kind of generate income for me while I sleep. So that's a big part of that, setting that up, working hard to make sure I have the songs to do that for me right now. And then and then also I want to own a home, you know, eventually in the next 5 years, own a home, own some property, and I want to do more traveling as well, just see more of the world around me and learn more about people in different cultures and just learn more about myself in the process too as well.
Awesome. So, in all of these things that you said, I didn't hear you say I want to go back home and
I
live
do that all the
my
time. That's constant. You should do that all the time. Like you don't even exist if you're not going home. Because trust me, like when I first came here, I didn't go home for 10 years, right? And the moment I went back the first time, I touched that soil and I breathed it in the air, and I just felt like, wow, what have I been missing this whole time? What am I doing with my life? Like we look at things so differently there. Like here's a rat race. You have everything and you're not happy. There, you don't even have anything, but you're happy and the world is just yours. So I came back here and I was like, I'm not gonna let stress rule my life. I'm gonna live my life free. Allow music, because you go to Lagos, you hear music everywhere. Everyone wants to party, dance, drink. Just live life that way. Live life free. Live life fun. And
Awesome. So this new movement of Africa children going back home that Dr. Ericana and you know a lot of the African leaders in the diaspora just started. And would you say that someday, as a young generation, African generation here, would you say one day you would look into the fight that these leaders are fighting for us, that you would go home?
100%. It's something that I was actually always looking at even before that. But then recently I saw, like, I guess the Ghanaian president had started speaking about things like this. And it's cool to hear that on the top level because this is just things I think of on my own, right? Like, in terms of how, like, human resource is such a big resource, human resource, labor, intellect. And a lot of the brightest individuals are being taken from Africa now with not even like by force, by money now. They're being paid to use that intellect to develop other countries, and our countries are not being developed. So this is something that definitely needs to happen. That's the only way we can move forward. If we take our expertise and our skills and come back and we're able to grow and we're able to show just even help the people back there. Like, for example, I can help with consulting, like from what I know from web design and things like that, help people so they able to have a higher quality of websites back home. Something as little as that could go a long way. Help with internet connectivity, internet speeds, little things like that. I have friends that are over in Zambia and sorry, Zimbabwe with DSTV as well that are looking to go back and do more things like that in terms of media and helping with the internet and stuff like that. So
Awesome,
I think
awesome.
we have a lot of knowledge we gain here that we should definitely be using to help our countries back home. Like
That
there's
is
no reason
awesome.
not to.
And a place to start would be a place that right here where you are, you begin to gather other African youths. You know,
Exactly.
you begin to gather them, you begin to show them the picture. People learn visually faster than audibly. So you begin to show them the picture of tomorrow's Africa and why it is important for the picture of today's Africa to be to be taught to the youth today in the diaspora. Because somebody like me, I know I'm going back home someday. But my children, they may not believe in that. Why? Because they are first generation. So it would be important for youth leaders like you, as an example. You called yourself an ambassador, and I see that you are really a representative of the good of Africa. So I'm using this medium on this show, on this platform, right here, right now, to say add one more responsibility to your bucket list to gather African youths that came here for school,
Mhm.
put them together, create a group, begin to educate them the need to look back home so that they are not lost one more time in the Western world, you
That's
know?
true. Yeah,
So,
no, it's
yeah,
important.
and I'm going to take you up on that.
You're right. You're right. No, I'm gonna start thinking about that too as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for
Right.
putting that in my mind.
Well, we have about 9 more minutes, so I'm gonna take that song, "Thank You," and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
we're
I really.
going to round up. Thank you so much, and what a perfect song to shut the this session down
Yeah,
with.
we're gonna shut it down with this one. Thank you, Queen Amina, for having me. It was a pleasure. Your show is amazing. Your voice sounds lovely. It's so nice talking
Thank
to you,
you.
and I really love this flow of information. The educational aspect of this show. Like, thank you for everything. So,
You're
yeah.
very welcome. So before you take on that song, tell our audience how they could find you so that they'll be able to follow you. And you said you have some businesses. It's important so they know where to find you.
Okay, yeah. So you can find me on social media. You can just search my name, CH That's on Spotify as well, on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and I also do websites as well. So if you ever need a website, you can hit me up, send me a message, and I'll check it out. I'm really busy with the music. It's important to focus on one thing at a time. So right now my focus is the music, but I'm always willing to help people. So if you have a business, an idea you're looking to take online, just send me a message. We can talk. And yeah, you can find me on all the social platforms. So thanks again, Queen Amina, for having me. And I'm really excited to share this song with you. This is all called Thank You.
Awesome. And before we do that, just some few comments from the audience for you. Tori Jab said, "Oh my God, just his face and the smile."
That's amazing. Thank you, Tari. I
Thank
wish
you
I could
so
see your
much,
face too.
Paulette Enechi. Thank you so much. She said, "Nice one, Queen Amina." Hey, 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 says Chocolate Shingo. He is an actor out of England.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, thank you guys so much. I see all of you. I love you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Again,
guys.
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
I want to push
Subscribe.
that
Hit that
platform.
button. Hit that subscribe below.
So
Hit that
guess
like.
what? Before I let you go, tomorrow we're going to have Her Excellency Dr. Ericana Chihombori Kwe, the lady that is standing up as Mama Africa now.
Wow.
She's going to be live on the Queen Amina show. So don't miss out. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, please make it a date with us. Join us. We want your questions. We want to know what are your concerns. She has answers. She has the network. She's willing to help. She's willing to extend a helping hand to make us return back home. So please join us live tomorrow on the Queen Amina Show, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, same time. So take it away, Chuxx.
Woo! Let's go. There's a new one called Thank You. Brand new premiere as well because Queen Amina always gets things
Woo! I
first.
betcha.
Hey, 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 hey. Uh, thank you, God. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you for blessings that you've given to me. Thank you because you've always believed in me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you that I'm leaving. Thank you for forgiving. Thank you for no reason. Praise the Lord of the earth. Because of him I am blessed. Before my life was a mess. Now I live with no stress. You took control of me and you made me somebody. So I put my trust in you. There ain't nothing you can do. I thank you for blessings that you've given to me. Thank you because you've always believed in me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for my prayers. You clothed me with layers. You took me out the graveyard. I cannot replace you. You're the one that I love. I thank you. Everything that I got belongs to you. You're the one that I love. I thank you. Everything that I got belongs to you. I thank you for blessings that you've given to me. Thank you because you've always believed in me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. You took control of me and you made me somebody. So I put my trust in you. There ain't nothing you can do. You're the one that I love. Woo! I thank you. Everything that I got belongs to you. You're the one that I love. I thank you. Everything that I got belongs to you. I thank you for blessings that you've given to me. Thank you because you've always believed in me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, gotta give thanks every day, y'all. Thank God for everything. Thank God for life. Thank you, Queen Amina, for having
And
me.
thank you. Thank you. You have a fantastic day. Thank you so,
Thank
so
you
very
so
much.
much.
You are a super wonderful young man, and keep it up. Keep it
Thank
up.
you.
Because,
Thank you.
you know, when you keep consistently doing something that is good, the
Yeah,
only result that you're going to end up with is goodness. You know,
exactly. And I
keep.
can see that with the Queen Amina show because you do it every day. So keep it up to
Thank you.
greatness.
Thank you
Greatness
so
coming
much.
your way.
You just stay positive, stay encouraged, and keep encouraging people around you. Like we touched a little bit about racism is everywhere, but
Yeah.
don't let it stop you.
No.
Each time it comes to you, just know that you are black, bold, and beautiful.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. That's it. That is it. You just got to know yourself, and that's
Yes.
it.
You have a fantastic rest of your day, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for being
Thank
on
you
the
so much.
show. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was fun. I love music. So, anyhow, you bring music, I'm always having fun. So, thank you guys so much for joining the Queen Amina show today. And that's all I have for you. Tomorrow, don't miss out. We have a powerhouse speaker that is going to be on the show, Dr. Ericana Chihombori and it's gonna be serious talk. Like today is fun, tomorrow is gonna be serious talk. So make sure you're joining us, and please join us also on YouTube. Share the video, help other people see this young man is super talented, and he said some very, very mature things that would help you. So go back and watch the video and just rejoice. It's always good. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Until tomorrow, keep watching the Queen Amina show. See you all soon.